Yo, what's good? We back at it. New video. We here to discuss what happens when we have the sun sign coming into the 11th house. First off, though, before I go into the video, I'm filming this on May the 8th. Today is Mother's Day, so I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Keep doing y'all thing. Keep staying strong. And shout out to y'all. Um, so let's talk about the sun sign. Then we're gonna go to what the house represents, who could be seen from the house, and all of that. So the sun is your ego. It's your identity, personality, self-expression. Represents yourself, vitality. It's your core energy. Things of that nature. This is what the sun is going to represent. It's also going to represent your father, in terms of a person that's outside of you. So that's just something to keep in mind, as this will show the area of life to where your father was actually centered around, right? And you, right? It's showing where your ego and identity is tied into, right? This is the place, actually, wherever the sun is at, is going to show where you would shine and do well at, and can gain confidence. So now let's talk about the 11th house. The 11th house is the house of your goals and wishes, or hopes and wishes. It's your aspirations, right? This house is also going to talk about your friends, groups, or any networks of people, and just groups that you may belong to. I also look at this house as the internet. Reason being is because this is an Aquarius house, and Aquarius is the sign that rules over science and technology, and technology has to do with the internet. So this house is going to show how you show up on the internet, basically, and your natural skills and stuff. How people would perceive you in this area on the internet would be seen from this house, basically. Let's talk about people now, outside of let's just talk about people. So this house is also going to show any stepchildren, if you have any. And this house is the house that you look to see if you have any, like your eldest sibling, whoever's the oldest sibling that you have, if you have one. House would represent them. Then you have your third marriage or third spouse would be seen from this house. If you happen to get married that many times, this is the energy of this partner. Your fourth child will be seen from this house, and also your fifth youngest sibling. So these are just some people to keep in mind in terms of the energy of who would show up here. So when we have the sun sign coming into the 11th house, this is similar to having the sun in Aquarius or Leo on the 11th house cusp. With your sun sign coming into this 11th house, right? This tells us that your identity and your ego could be tied into groups of people and networks. This is where you naturally would shine light and radiate and come off as an individual. You may find that you actually want to be recognized and seen and noticed in this area, right? So that's just something to think about with this placement. This is a house that can represent the collective. So you may do well in, when we think of Aquarius is actually the sign of humanitarianism, right? It represents humanity. So you may do well in these areas, or doing philanthropy work as well. Activism, same type of thing, but you may find that you do well in this area as well. Now, with the sun's energy coming into this 11th house, let's start with your goals and wishes, your aspirations, basically. So we got the sun's influence here. So this is like having Leo type of energy here. Leo's the entertainer of the zodiac, I always say. So you may actually find that you have hopes and wishes to be in the spotlight or social prominence, basically. This can actually be you doing well in tapping into like creative endeavors, so performance arts, being an actor, singer, dancer, being a musician, for example, any form of stage performance. This could be seen with this placement, or just any type of field that deals with people who are in positions of prominence, basically. So government officials, or politics, basically. You may have hopes and wishes around these areas as well. Now, since this is basically your hopes and wishes, if you're striving towards this area, This can show you attracting people who are in the limelight, basically, right? Because we got the sun or Leo's energy in this house. So this house shows up as your friends and basically how you come off to friends, right? So you come off as an individual. You could come off as like the star, shining light, basically. And you can attract people like this. You can attract people who are famous people. Again, people with positions of prominence. I stated before, but if you're going towards being like a actor or a singer or a musician, for example, then you can have friends in the same area, as this is the house that shows up as friends. When your sun sign comes into this 11th house, your father actually can be known as well amongst groups of people. He may be known amongst groups of people, or just stand out as an individual amongst his friends. Basically, he may be the center of his friends with this placement, and you would take upon these same traits. You could be seen as the center of your friends as well too, or like it to revolve around you. All right, so that's just something to think about. And since this house represents technology like the internet, this is showing that you could be known well for, you may be known well on the internet, basically, with this placement, right? Now, of course, you got to take into effect, you got to take into effect the sign that's on the cusp, and then also the sign that the sun is coming through, if it's a different sign than what's on the cusp, because this can alter it, this can change things, this can show what you may be known for, how you're seen as well. But this is just basic energy. One thing I like to say too is that we would take into effect all of the people that we stated that can be seen from this house, as they would have like Leo-like energy. So I told you a little earlier how this house deals with stepchildren, your eldest sibling, your third marriage or spouse, your fourth child, and your fifth youngest or younger sibling. So all of these individuals, if you have these people right in your life, would take upon this Leo-like, these Leo-like qualities basically, and be, have energy that's like the life of the party, very much fun, strong-willed, charismatic. Maybe liking a lot of attention basically, or they could be just well known basically. So that's just something to think about. And last thing I want to state is that you can also look at the ruler of this house basically, and whatever house is deposited into. And what the ruler actually means is just the planet that rules over the sign that's on the cusp. Whatever house is deposited into, this is going to tell you more about any goals, aspirations, and even the area of focal point that your friends could be centered around as well, So that's it, Y'all have a great day. Again, happy Mother's Day. And stay tuned, more videos coming soon. Peace.